The Jacob Media Sports Network, in partnership with 97.3 ESPN, brings you the Mays and Eytan Show.
Middays with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander.
Now, it's the Midday Show with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander on 97.3 ESPN Radio.
We inch closer to one of the most anticipated football games in the last 20 years. The Philadelphia Eagles hosting Luke Falk and the New York Jets. Are you ready for this one?
Are you starting the show by trolling the audience already with that nonsense statement?
Well,
are you kidding me?
What else is going on? I gotta sell it. I gotta sell that meat somehow.
You don't have to sell anything.
That steak's gotta sizzle.
You work for the Eagles?
No.
You work for the NFL? The NFL stinks thus far.
I hate to break it to you, but last night I was glued.
It was awful.
To that television.
It was terrible.
Well, listen. Tell that to my fantasy and to my gambling accounts.
Goddamn fantasy.
Well, but hold on a second. Hold on a second.
God.
It used to be when that stuff was taboo, and like 6 people who listened played it.
Yeah.
People smarter than us that were running radio stations would come over after shows and say, "Hey, nobody cares about you and your little."
And they
bet.
still don't.
I disagree.
No, they don't.
The amount of people that are playing
they care about their bets.
Yes, that's what we do.
They don't care about yours.
No, but what all I'm doing is opening up a door to a forum that allows. Like, wouldn't you want to hear about bad beats? Wouldn't you want to hear about?
Oh, is that what we're doing now?
No.
We're doing SVP bad beats.
We did that before. Sean Van Pelt did that.
Scott Van Pelt. Yeah, I know, but everybody's doing it now.
Oh, well, then I don't want to do it if he's
that's
doing
what I'm saying. It's already bad beats have jumped the shark.
It's fine. We don't need. And but we haven't done that in a little bit anyway. Now I don't ever want to do it again.
Right.
Because Sean's
all right, we got
it.
that taken care of. Let me check that box.
All right, we're not following Sean now. Moving on.
Scott.
Scott, pardon me. So what I would say, though, is there are a lot of people out there that, think about this. Last night was the perfect example. If you did not have a gambling or fantasy component, you weren't watching.
Well, I was watching for a little
Why?
bit because there was nothing else on. I watched one episode of Downton Abbey with the wife because we're starting to watch that now, and then I watched a couple of segments of The Voice. It's a show.
No, I know,
it's a British
I know.
show.
But is it a good? I hear a lot of people not like the typical viewer of
it's
it.
about
like
this family,
almost
like this very wealthy family in England that lives in this huge mansion.
Yeah.
And then they have it's basically built around the help in the house. Like there's a lot. I kind of think it's pretty good. But anyway,
okay.
I watched an episode of that, and then I went to The Voice, and I watched an hour of that. It's all I could take. And then I sent the wife to bed, and I went to the football game at 9 o'clock. And I watched an offensive line that, I swear to God, you, me, Rothstein, Hennig, and PT would have done a better job of protecting Andy Dalton than whatever that was in Bengals uniforms last night, masquerading as an offensive line. It was awful.
I don't know how people are still having a conversation about Dalton and company. And you're right. If you want to put last night on the offensive line,
well, it was.
Fine.
I mean, Dalton's not great by any
he
stretch.
Stinks, though.
Well, he wasn't protected. He got sacked 8 times.
Listen, this Steelers defense looked like Chicago
they
against
did.
Kirk Cousins.
Right, against that team.
Aggressive, and against Washington, that other was at Monday night.
Yeah, Bud Dupree running in there unblocked, knocking the crap out of Dalton, knocking the ball free.
Here was the best part about last night. And I don't know if you disagree or not. We can have this conversation. 609-403-0973 is the text board.
I just want to see competitive football.
Listen, Booger McFarland is one of the best color analysts in the game. I stand by that statement. I think he gets in, he gets out, he gives you good analysis. He was rightfully criticizing the Bengals in that second half. Andy Dalton and that idiot head coach just taking their time.
Well, the head coach,
time.
the head coach that spent a little time rubbing elbows with Sean McVay, and now he's the next genius.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Except he's the genius in the class in which everybody's been held back 6 years.
No, but being in Cincinnati as the next genius isn't a bad place to be. They held on to Marvin Lewis for like 18 years. This guy might have a job for the next 20 years.
Can you imagine what Marvin Lewis
He didn't even have to win a playoff game.
No.
So he's actually in probably a pretty good spot if you like longevity.
Well, that assumes that Marvin Lewis didn't have pictures on the owner at the Brown family.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? Something along those
All
lines.
right, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is the game itself. I thought Booger did a really good job last night. I thought that he was
Booger's good.
I thought the other guy, he's there.
I'm not so much
He's
about
there.
Tess.
All right, he's there.
Tess tries to build too
him.
much drama. when there's really no drama.
I agree.
You know what I mean? He's almost like he's better. He'd be better as a boxing announcer. I think he used to do that, or he
Wrestling,
does that,
right?
too. Yeah, wrestling.
Yeah,
and
or boxing. Yes, that boxing would be if he didn't already do that.
I
Boxing
think he's done that. I think he's done that
because you need to build up hype and things.
Booger's
along
way
those lines.
better than Witten. Sometimes
Oh, my God, it's
Booger
not
said
even close.
something though a week or two ago when it was last week, the Redskins and the Bears game. He called FedEx Field an iconic venue.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Iconic in what respect? Do you understand the word iconic? FedEx Field is the least of an iconic venue in the NFL. And then he was praising, Bruce Allen for the great job that they're doing building this team. What?
That's the
Have
broadcast.
you watched the Redskins?
That's the broadcast partner in them.
Oh, okay, great.
I mean, they got, like I said, they got to sell. That was the Washington-Chicago game in which you had to sell something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Say this thing's going to be over in 5 minutes? Half the country's going to turn off the channel.
Yeah, well, you don't have to sell me. I already know. Beforehand.
I'm just trying to sell you on Booger.
Oh.
Because I think Booger is a legit color analyst, man. I think he's one of the better guys. And listen, I'm not going to Mount Rushmore hierarchy, any of that crap.
Is that what we're doing?
No, I just said I'm taking
All
it
right.
out. All I'm saying for me is I enjoyed it. I thought that Booger McFarland made that game more entertaining than it was because that game was a walking, living, breathing train wreck. It was awful.
Yeah, it was terrible, just like last week's
But
Monday
you
night
had
game.
to have money or fan. Like, listen, I'm telling you, you can create all these different leagues, all these different sites, right? It's not one specific. You have these leagues where you just play one game.
Right.
So I played the hell out of the Steelers. Steelers defense, Mason
Who was your
Rudolph.
captain?
Steelers defense.
Oh, baby.
Hey, listen, this Bengals offense is so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Think about this. The Miami Dolphins, Harry.
They got some weapons. They just can't protect the quarterback.
But they won't, and it's 4 weeks into it. The Dolphins are not the worst team in football. We have a team in Miami that is actively tanking, and they are still not the worst team in the NFL. I'd rather be in Miami right now than Washington
or
and
Cincinnati.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Cincinnati. I was going to say Andy Dalton, but yes, Cincinnati. Right?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins, I don't have it in front of me, but I would guarantee you that the Dolphins have covered every single first half this year.
The Dolphins play the Redskins in like 2 weeks.
I'm
Can't you wait for that one? I think it's a pick 'em.
No. Is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
I think Miami wins that first half. Miami has been battling every single first half. It's been crazy to see that. That's been a huge difference. Meanwhile, Washington and Cincinnati, think about it. You knew it was only a matter of time last night.
It's in Miami, and I think the game's a pick 'em. It came out of pick 'em in advanced lines. How about that? Are you going to watch that?
I know.
It's a 1 o'clocker on Fox.
No, but I would stay the hell away from that game. I wouldn't get in a tease. I wouldn't parlay. I wouldn't.
Eagles play the Vikings that day, I believe.
They're in Minnesota.
Yeah, so hopefully it's at the same time, and we won't be subjected to Redskins-Dolphins.
I'm not watching that crap. I can tell you that. That's a red zone special, meaning you watch the red zone to move away from that.
Yeah.
There's no way in human hell I would ever watch that game without something else on it as well. Now, again, from a fantasy standpoint, if people are playing dailies and or yearlies, there might be a component, but that's the type of game where even if you do, you don't bet it, why would you? But even if you do have a fantasy component, you kind of set it and forget it.
Well, did any of your props that you had going yesterday, we went over those 5 or 6
Yes,
props,
they did.
did any of them hit?
Yes, they did, sir.
Which one?
Well, I'm glad you asked. 2 of 7 hit. All right, so I'll give you or 9, I think, hit. I'll give you the losers. Mixon to score 2+ did not.
Yeah, that was
Bengals plus 0.5. Alternate spread did not. Steelers winning margin, I thought I might have had a shot 7-12 at the half, but then of course
Blowout.
Cincinnati just became Cincinnati.
What was it,
more.
27-3?
It was embarrassing. Yes.
Yeah.
That did not hit. Juju scores a touchdown. Steelers win. That lost. Mixon scores a touchdown. Bengals win. That lost. Dalton throw 3+. Bengals win. That lost. Now, again,
That's like a lottery ticket.
that was plus
That happened.
530, man.
Jesus.
That was plus 530 for that thing to happen.
You should just keep riding that every game the Bengals play. But Dalton throws 3+
not a bad
and
idea.
the Bengals win.
Juju to have 2+ TDs, Steelers win. That lost. Now, that was plus 730. That was a higher odds than Dalton, 200. All right. Now, what hit was Connor scoring a touchdown, Steelers win. And Rudolph to throw 2+ parlayed with the Steelers winning. And then the big one was at 350 was the Steelers minus 3.5 and the under 43.5.
All right, now did you notice Ben Roethlisberger on the sidelines last night?
He was doing everything. Yeah. Now,
dude,
I'm glad you brought that up. Let me say, before you go where you're going, because I don't want to be accused of you leading me. It looked like, because we see this all the time, it looked like the typical tweet that's out there just to get retweets and likes, like just to pander to your version or your selection of the echo chamber. Like it seemed to me like Ben Roethlisberger knew he was going to be on camera a lot, and he was doing everything he can. Meanwhile, and I'll end with this, Harry, that video of Mason Rudolph on Monday night explaining about their relationship was like a step removed from a hostage video of him being like, no, everything's okay, looking out of his eyes like, is Tomlin still there with the pistol?
There is no way Ben Roethlisberger was happy to see Mason Rudolph throwing touchdown passes and a super high completion percentage last night at home to get the first win. No freaking way.
Zero.
No.
Absolutely zero. And he tried to play it off as much as possible.
He's Mr. Team Guy.
Isn't that funny?
No way.
Oh, I'm out here, man. I'm out here helping guys pointing,
Yeah, last night was the first time that he's probably seen the end, where he's like, they had Landry Jones back in the day. They had some of these other stiffs that they brought in. Dobbs, the kid at Tennessee. Right. Charlie, Batch way back in the day.
Big Pen was the last one, though.
He was never threatened at all. And here's the first night at home. He sees the crowd getting behind this kid.
Yes.
That's the other thing. The crowd was really supportive of Mason Rudolph, and it's like, man, this is the guy that's going to supplant me.
Well,
it was a reality check,
and that's the secondary. Like, I don't think a lot of people were chanting in the crowd immediately. This is like back of the whole booing thing when the whole thing with Luck. People, I think, were so elated, and relieved that their season was still alive and that they won this football game. Mm-hmm. And I think that Roethlisberger...
in that division, they're only like a game back
because
now,
Cleveland beat Baltimore, correct. So there's this sense of like, they're smart fans, like we're smart fans. They understand what's at stake in winning that football game. And I think that was the secondary, like clearly on their minds. Like I'm sure there was somebody looking over, cheering, saying, hey, we got a guy. Mm-hmm. Screw Big Ben. Look how much he's eaten over the offseason. Right. We got a young guy.
He looked really swole last night, too.
I'm telling you, man.
Man.
He's got to cut back on his salt.
Jeez, he was on the Embiid Chick-fil-A diet, which I guess Joel Embiid is no longer on now.
He looks a little. He looks more svelte.
Yeah,
right?
Embiid.
Yes. No, Roethlisberger looks like. All right, we're going to hear Embiid talking about his diet in a second.
Yeah, I want to hear from some of the players because they were at the media day yesterday and we got some audio.
But it does look like Ben Roethlisberger has decided to double up and take on Joel Embiid's salt intake.
Yeah.
It's like, how much can you go before you have to switch to sweats?
I mean, he was never ripped, but he's really puffy.
Well, no, it's
you know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
Like, I've never been ripped, but I'm really puffy.
Right. Well, the Steelers played last night. Let's go to Glenn.
All right.
In EHT. He's our resident Steelers fan. Glenn.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, fellas, how you doing?
What's up?
I'm just glad we got our win. We're not going 0-16. 0-3 had me a little nervous. I know it's a long year. Just give me a win and get my season started. Four quarters. Our first quarter, 1-3. Okay, we got 3 more quarters to finish the season off. And the inconsistent play I'm seeing in the league, to me, sometimes I think it has to do with matchups. It depends on who you play. I mean, some of these teams like Tennessee, Minnesota, Atlanta, they look good against certain teams, and other teams, they look like they can't play. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just amazing how that works. I mean, to watch New England suffer or struggle against Buffalo, are they going to struggle against Buffalo the second time around? Is it just a matchup thing? Sometimes I think it has to do with the inconsistency we see team to team. You know what I mean? I know it's any given Sunday, but I look at Mariota one week, it looks like he can't play. Next week he's throwing touchdowns. It just makes you wonder.
I don't think he's thrown an interception yet this season, Mariota.
It's amazing.
No, I think he's the only guy.
He was on primetime one night. I felt like he couldn't even play. The first half he was like 6 for 17.
Well, the Jacksonville game, right, that Thursday night game, he was outplayed by Gardner Minshew in the first half, and then things just didn't really progress for either one of them.
And the weather was bad, too. That game just went to hell.
We were talking about god-awful football all week, and there was so much of it and so much bad play. You're like, wow. And I'm just thinking sometimes just who you're playing and when you're playing them. You know what I mean? So,
well, yeah, when you play teams is key. There's no doubt about that.
You guys have a good day now.
Thanks,
All
Lynn.
right, man. Here's an interesting number here. I got this this morning. Thus far, through week 4 in the NFL, there have been 40 starting quarterbacks through 4 weeks.
Wait a second. How many?
40.
Holy smokes.
Okay? That's the most since 1950 through week 4.
Now, okay, what was the last – do you know the last 2 years? Because
No, I don't.
The reason why I ask this question is a lot of times what happened – not a lot of times, but what can happen in a phrasing like that – I'm not saying your phrasing. I'm saying how people phrase it is this is the first time it's happened since 1900. And people are like, oh, my God, what's going on right now? And then you look and see the last like 2 or 3 times were 1906 and 1912, meaning like – those other 2 times it happened, one or the 2 of the top 3 is what I'm saying. So that's what I was asking. Like, is this a recent trend where like 2017,
No, I'm just talking about right now.
Okay.
40 starting quarterbacks through week 4 is the most since 1950. Okay? 11 backup quarterbacks will be playing in week 5. 11. That's a third of the league.
Now,
There's 32 teams. That's over a third of the league.
but where is it really impacted? Like, think about this. Let's look at this for a second.
Where is it impacted? Fan enjoyment.
I don't.
If you're
necessarily-
watching a game that doesn't involve your team and you got 2 backup quarterbacks, you're like, this would be great if so-and-so was playing.
Yeah, but last night Andy Dalton's the starter.
No, I'm not talking about Andy Dalton. I'm talking about, like, next Sunday night is the Colts at the Chiefs.
Right.
That would be great if that Andrew Luck didn't retire and I got Jacoby Brissett. You know what I mean?
Yes, but I also think that game's a lot closer if T.Y. Hilton plays.
Okay, but I'm not
Colts have won- Colts
into
are 2
it.
and 2. Listen, you're not into it
They just
only
lost to
because
the
of
Raiders at home.
Because Hilton was out.
Okay.
Jacoby Brissett's got nobody to throw. Doyle got knocked out.
Well,
too.
right, yeah.
Everybody's out.
And how about that perfect?
Indy's not that bad.
I
man.
didn't see the video. Yeah, they're not bad at home.
Correct.
But this is on the road, I think.
Well, they won. They beat somebody on the road too.
I just saw the video of Burfict running off the field. He was like blowing kisses to the stands, to the people in the crowd,
Yeah.
and laughing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that yesterday
Well, listen.
when he got suspended.
This is not.
He's
the
a
guy.
clown.
Yeah, and I don't know why anybody would feel like, okay, of all people in the thin line or gray area of helmet to helmet / contact to saving people and preserving bodies and brains, why somebody would jump up and say, today's the day I'm going to make a stand, and the avatar that I'm going to use in my argument is going to be Vontaze Burfict. Like, why would anybody take up for Vontaze Burfict?
Oh, I don't think anybody is, are they?
Yeah.
Who? Warren Sapp?
Nope. Sapp, from what I heard on a Sirius show in the morning the other day.
Deion Sanders?
No, your boy Van Pelt I saw last night.
Sean Van Pelt?
Yeah, Sean was saying.
Sean Van Pelt or Scott Van Pelt?
One of the Van Pelts.
Okay.
Todd Van Pelt. Came out and it was that one
Not Bo
big thing.
Van Pelt.
Not Alex Van Pelt, Harris.
No.
Alex Van Pelt.
Not at all. Saying that Vontaze Burfict's hit shouldn't have been suspended for the hit. I saw the headline there. I kept it moving.
Oh, was this on one of those embrace debate shows on ESPN?
I'm just saying. All right. I don't know. I wasn't even bringing it up to isolate anybody specifically. I was just saying because the social media and how we are, where you can just have the opinion based off what you're seeing. I don't know why this guy's been warned. I don't know. It just seems like such an odd hill to die on.
Yeah, he has no regard for the fellow players that play the game.
No,
that's
and
the
people
thing.
who have played and are playing agree.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous there. The point, how did we even get to Burfict, though? Because, with the
Because
quarterbacks.
we're talking about the
quarterbacks
and
is
people being out.
Listen, I don't disagree with you as a whole, but I think that where we do disagree, and this will be interesting because we open it up. Jimmy Kempsey's going to join us at 1 o'clock, but we've got time for your text.
Yeah,
609.
Lambo blew us off today.
Thank you.
Apparently he's got some meeting that is bigger than this show.
We have to ask him tomorrow.
He's going to be on tomorrow at 12:15.
The problem is that we promoted this. We look
I
like
know.
idiots.
Right.
And here's the thing.
And I have audio ready to go for him, to blast him.
I hate to break it to Matt Lombardo, but if I had known Jimmy Kempsey would be on the show today, I would have bumped Lambo in the promo and would have just put Jimmy Kempsey joins us today. So not only did we look like idiots because the guy that we promoted is not going to join us, Harry, but the guy who is a bigger guest wasn't even promoted.
Right.
Lambo owes us an apology. He owes us an in-studio visit. He owes us a lot.
He owes us gear, too,
This is ridiculous,
for this
man.
gentleman golfer supply thing.
Yeah, seriously. We all know who the gentleman is, and it's not Lambo. See, I think that's what we've learned so far. But the quarterbacks themselves. So let's see. Let's look at the best teams and go from top down. New Orleans right now has not missed a beat.
No, I know, but they're not as fun to watch. Okay? I mean, watching them beat Dallas is great. 12-10, 4 field goals. That isn't, tickling my undercarriage. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Drew Brees.
Right, but I don't know. Like, Drew Brees is not dropping back and throwing the ball 50 yards in the air.
No, I know, but I like Drew Brees.
Okay.
He's going to the Hall of Fame. Teddy Bridgewater isn't.
That's what I'm saying, though, is this is more, and this is fine. I'm not holding you accountable for this opinion. But I think what you, and I'm sure others out there, 609-403-0973, at Harry Mays TU, at Shander Show, the stream's up and cooking as well from Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking it's maybe not so much of the lack of product or enjoyment in the product so much as who's out there. Meaning you could still see a good Saints game, but you're out regardless because Drew Brees is there.
No, I'm not out. I watched the game, but I wasn't as into it. I wasn't as, I had the Saints, too, plus 2.5. And I really just wasn't into it.
Well, the game itself sucked.
It wasn't good.
But we've seen Eagles games before where the first quarter looks like that.
Yeah, but see, when it's my team, I don't care. That's I'm invested in the Eagles, even if they play like crap, or if they're in an ugly game. I'm 110% invested. When I'm trying to watch other peripheral games where I might even have a wager on it, I want to be entertained.
Okay, and I feel like for the most part, the lack of quarterback hasn't hurt me. And I know Sunday, I feel like that could have been a Drew Brees game.
I see backup quarterbacks and penalty flags. That's what I see.
Penalties are different. And from a gambling standpoint, penalties and fantasy standpoint, penalties piss me the hell off.
Me too.
But Buffalo is most likely going to be down Josh Allen this week, right? Matt Barkley's going to be out there.
Does he have a concussion from that hit, I guess?
I thought he was in
He threw 3 picks last week, but I think he got dinged in the helmet, I think.
Okay, so
concussion protocol, yes.
Yeah, so he's in the protocol. We'll see.
Who do they play?
Buffalo. It's most likely Matt Barkley is going to get the start now.
I will not turn
they're
the
in
television
Nashville.
on for that.
They're in Nashville taking on the Titans.
Go Titans.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know how much you'd be watching Bills-Titans even with Josh Allen, so let's not act like this was a huge loss in the Harry Mays household.
Well, Josh Allen at least is a up-and-coming quarterback.
He threw 3 picks yesterday.
I know. That was against New England.
Okay, well, the Titans' defense hasn't been horrific. They actually have one of the best scoring defenses in the NFL.
Good. I'd rather see Josh Allen try to beat him than Matt Barkley.
Okay, that wasn't the issue. My point of it,
I'd rather see Charles Barkley quarterbacking
fair.
the Buffalo
That's
Bills
fair.
than stinking Matt Barkley.
You got it. What I'm saying is
that would be entertaining.
Your means that would be entertaining.
Can you imagine with his golf swing, him trying to throw a pass? He probably stops with a hitch halfway up and then
like his elbow just like comes forward like that. And it's every single time he throws it, his elbow's out. Like he throws his elbow out. Oh, my God.
What's the next one? What else you got?
Well, who else? Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is that that game is going to be the same result if it's Josh Allen, Kyle Allen, Mark Allen, Tim Allen from home.
Woody Allen.
Yeah, so Woody Allen out there.
No, I'll tell you, Kyle Allen, I'm somewhat interested in watching because he's actually been playing well, and the team seems to be responding to him rather than Cam Newton.
Correct.
So that's interesting to me.
I think, okay, I'll get to him in a second.
Who are they playing this week?
Well, the only other, I was trying to get to the next team with there's so many 2-2 records. They're at home against the Jaguars. So it's
So Minshew
again. You got a
against
problem.
Kyle
You got a
Allen.
problem with Gardner Minshew.
I love Minshew.
There you go. He's a backup.
I know. Well, yeah. Well, he's also a backup to Nick Foles.
Well, Mason Rudolph's a backup to
I want to
Mr. Salt.
I'd like to see Jacksonville rattle off like 8 in a row, so there's a real decision when Nick Foles comes back with his collarbone, and our buddy Loke's head will explode.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that. Now, how many teams are 2-2 right now in the NFL? There are a lot, right?
The Eagles are 2-2. Yeah, there's quite a few.
I believe it's 13.
I have 12, 13, yes.
Yeah.
That's nearly half the league is 2-2.
Yeah.
Now, of the teams that are below that,
I tell you, 2-2 feels a whole lot better than 1-3.
Sam Darnold in there for the game that he
He's not
missed.
playing this week.
He's not playing that he missed.
I highly doubt it.
I'll give you the Jets. The Jets are the team that I'll concede that are light years more entertaining with Sam Darnold at quarterback than not. Listen, Denver, Cincinnati, Miami, Washington, you can't count Rose and Fitzpatrick as starter backup. Those two are the same guys.
No.
They're all playing
I'd rather
starters.
see Drew Lock play for Denver this week in
Yeah.
Los Angeles against the Chargers.
Drew Luck. Not Andrew Luck.
Jeez. That was a reach. You know, it's 22 days, 7 hours until the Celtics Sixers.
We got
Preseason starts this week, which I will not watch 1 second.
Whoa. Hold on a second. There's something that happened last night that everybody's overreacting to. We have to get to that.
What?
Yeah.
Basketball related?
Yeah. First off, though, James Harden. Joel Embiid audio on the diet and where everything is right now.
Do we have Ben Simmons audio, too? Because he said something quite interesting.
About Kendall Jenner?
No.
She's cheated on him 6 times this summer.
Well, yeah, we read that a couple weeks ago. No, I'm talking about his proclivity
to get out of
to
that.
shoot a three-pointer.
All right. I'll
Do we have that, Josh?